In the Week in Review from the Ingraham angle segment tonight, the economy is still dominating the news cycle, and I don't know about you, but it's giving me a massive headache. No one can understand trillion-dollar debts, deficits, whatever. No one can understand. Joining us from Washington, Fox News analyst Laura Ingraham. Now, I've never asked you this question. It's such an obvious question. You make your living researching public policy. You talk to the folks on the radio every day. You come into the Fox News channel. What do you think we should do to combat this recession?
Well, the one thing we absolutely must do, but it doesn't look like we're going to do, is to control spending. And you're not very popular these days when you talk about truly cutting government spending, Bill. But we need to do that, and I know there's a lot of non-discretionary spending that we're locked into, but there are ways even to control that. There are market-based solutions that work, but I got to tell you, I'm not an elected official. I do hear a lot of theories, I do hear a lot of things, and for 3 hours a day on the radio every day, I try to do my best to stop the madness in Washington.
It's crazy.
And Bill, let me tell you what the Republicans did today. This big fanfare that they were going to come out with this counter budget to what Obama has been flacking on Jay Leno and online town hall meetings, all that stuff. I was all excited about it, thinking, oh, great, we're going to have some numbers, we're going to have some real proposals. And I've got to say, it was really disappointing. Other than laying out 10% and 25% tax rates for different income earners, there was not a lot there, and you can't beat something with generalities. And so the Republicans have got to bring an A game to fight what is one of the most powerful and effective political machines that we've ever seen, and we're not saying it.
The smartest guy in the Republican precincts right now is Newt Gingrich on this kind of stuff. And, the Speaker is a brilliant man. And Gingrich basically broke it down this way. Do away with the capital gains tax, so let everybody invest, and whatever you make in a very, very turbulent and dangerous market, you get to keep. Cut the corporate tax from 35 to 25. So give the incentive,
we've talked about
give
this
the corporations an incentive not to contract, but to expand because they get to keep 10% more money. That's the Republican free marketeer point of view. The liberal Obama point of view, as you know, is spend a massive amount of money changing the economy all around, away from the fossil fuels into the brave new world.
Bill,
go ahead.
Bill, what Senator Judd Gregg said this past week was dead on when he said that with our debt ratio right now, our debt to GDP ratio, our budget deficit and our debt ratio, wouldn't even allow us to become members of the European Union. It's so out of whack under the Obama, forecasted budget.
But they think they're going to recover it down the road.
Yeah, well, Europe. Remember a Citizen of the World speech in Berlin. We're going to have a new reputation in the world. Everyone's going to work with us. We're going to be much more influential in a good way. Well, now Europe is saying, hey, we're not doing this.
Yeah,
we're not going down this road of spending.
All that money. Okay.
The socialists are trying to rein us in. That's insane. That's insane.
You have a beef with the public service thing that happened this week. You gotta explain it so even I can understand it.
Yeah, this is really an interesting story. It's gotten almost no coverage. AmeriCorps, which is basically paying people to volunteer, and we think of AmeriCorps and we think of, well, the government spending money in inner cities, having teachers work who otherwise might not have been hired, and that seems like a noble thing. Well, whether you think that or not, what's happened with AmeriCorps, and this is from people inside of AmeriCorps, is all too often it's become a vehicle for political agendas, and almost always political agendas on the left. Well, this week, Bill, a vote in the Senate tripled the number of AmeriCorps volunteers. $5.6 billion, 250,000 new volunteers that are going to be paid for by you and me. And a provision that was the most disturbing was a provision that to make service mandatory include things like uniforms, set up education centers and campuses to I would think, indoctrinate young people into this way of thinking.
Right,
and
so
Obama was really big into this.
All right. It's like the Vista program when I was in college. You volunteer for the government, you get paid a stipend, you got to have money to live and eat.
Much worse, though.
All right.
No. Right. This is much worse. And the mandatory provision was stripped out, but it might be put back in.
All right. So you feel it's basically to indoctrinate more liberal people to get into education and social work.
Of course it is.
Okay.
It's Obama saying he wants more people to do what he did, which is work for an Acorn of affiliate or something like that. The bottom line is, at a time like this, where our national credit card is about to be cut up by the international community, they're not going to fund our debt, we can't afford $5.6 billion of money to pay volunteers. We have a lot of volunteers already in America.
All right. Laura Ingraham, everybody. Thanks very much, Laura, as always.